My name is Tom Watson.
And I'm Debra Watson.
And this is the story of Five Stones Church. Because of the way that I grew up and difficulties in life, I pushed back from God. In fact, I went in the other direction. I decided that I didn't believe in God at all and decided I was an atheist.
I grew up as a Methodist. My parents took us to church. It was a really small little country church, so there were like a dozen of us there. And we would go on Sundays and sometimes on Wednesdays if there was something going on. But as I got older, I drifted further and further away.
At some point, God just would not allow me to stay where I was. And so He loved me so much that He put other people around me, other believers in high school that just told me about Jesus and tried to bring me to church. And I wanted to show them all the inconsistencies in their little book. And so I started reading the Bible. And I actually read a lot of it. It started rattling around inside of me. I found myself going to church a little bit more and a little bit more. At one point, they finally invited me to come to, it was a summer camp. And the preacher there, I don't even know why he was doing it except for me. But at the end of his message, he gave an altar call. There I sat in the middle of this gymnasium. I knew, my heart was beating a million miles in my chest. I knew that what was happening in that moment was that I needed to come to grips with who Jesus really was. While everyone was silent, right there in the middle of everybody, I said at the top of my voice, "Yes!" to God. And so from that moment forward, I thought, I'm going to be an outspoken fool for the Lord. After about 13 years in the same church, a church that we thought we would retire in, God started moving inside of us for something more. He started nudging us really to step out and plant a church. At the beginning of the year, we do every year what we call a marriage vision retreat, where we just take about 3 days, we leave the kids with our folks, and we just pray into the year. One of the biggest topics of our prayers was, where do you want us to plant a church, God? We were praying in just that morning, God, where do you want us? Will you just show it to us? When we get back home, will you just highlight where we're supposed to be? And so we found ourselves on the Walnut Street Bridge in Chattanooga. And as we walked out on this bridge that overlooks the Tennessee River, randomly, it seemed, God suddenly dropped in my spirit the story of David and Goliath. David reached into a dry riverbed and he pulled out 5 smooth stones. And I thought, why 5? Why not 1? Why not 7? God only used 1 stone. Why did He take 5? And why does the Bible tell us 5? I think David was the kind of guy that saw this oppressive giant beating down the people of God. And he said, I just can't stand that anymore. And so he reached in there and he took 5 stones because he said, I'm going to take out this giant. And after I take that one out, I'm going to take down the giant army behind it. And I'll keep throwing stones until they're all gone. And it was just in that moment on that bridge that I turned to my wife and I said, what about here? What about Chattanooga? And for the first time in 2 states, and I can't tell you how many counties, our spirit leapt. Yes. And we knew right there, we were supposed to be in Chattanooga. There's some oppressive giants that are holding God's people down. Giants like poverty and divorce and addiction and all of these things. And I said right there on that bridge, we're supposed to be here. And I think we're supposed to be called Five Stones Church, a church designed to take down giants. And in that moment, we knew that it didn't matter how much searching we had to do. We were called to this city, that we're supposed to be in Chattanooga, and we're supposed to be a church that helps those people that are stuck in some of those bondages find freedom.
So the vision of Five Stones Church is to see people set free, transformed, and fully alive to the power of Jesus Christ.
We believe before you could do anything, you have to be set free of your past shames, regrets, past mistakes. You have to really know the God that loved you enough that He would die for you. You're set free in that way. And then you're transformed. What does it need to be transformed? Well, I like to think of it this way, that God got me out of Egypt, and then He got Egypt out of me. So He takes me out of this place of a lifestyle that I once knew and a way of living that I was comfortable with, and He shows me a better way, that there's freedom, that there doesn't have to be this old way of living and condemnation. And then from that, I can be fully alive. The moment that Debra and I found out that you could actually be part of the move of God in a church, it changed everything for us. We jumped in with both feet and said, we can serve, we can actually help people.
And not have to change who we are. Like, this is who we are, and we can still do this and use that to help serve the Lord. It was amazing.
Like God has a specific vision or purpose for everyone's life. The Bible says that He knit you together in your mother's womb. He knows exactly what you're meant and empowered to do. And we love to connect people with that vision so that they can actually go serve that out in their community and really make a difference in the world around them. When you leave Five Stones Church, we want you to feel equipped, empowered, and encouraged to truly make a difference in your community, to feel fully alive doing what God has called you to do. We would love to invite you to join us for our launch Sunday, September 11th, 2022 at East Brainerd Elementary.
And you can follow us on social media at Five Stones Family, or for more information, you can visit our website at fivestonesfamily.com.